Big news! The new Sprint LTE Plus network is faster than Verizon and AT&T based on analysis of a recent study by Nielsen. And to celebrate, we're inviting you to join Sprint for the biggest offer in U.S. wireless history. Switch to Sprint and save 50% on most Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. Yep, you heard that right. No gimmicks, no tricks. You have Verizon 6 gigs for $60, $30 with Sprint. And if you have 15 gigs for $100 from AT&T, $50 with Sprint. Even if you have T-Mobile's 10 gigs for $80, we'll give it to you for $40. And we won't force you to watch video in low def. Oh, and one more thing. We'll even pay your switching fees up to $650 per line so you can switch to the Sprint LTE Plus network today. Visit a Sprint store or sprint.com/save 50%.
Offer coverage not available everywhere for discounted phones. Excludes taxes, surcharges, roaming, and premium content. Subject to new line $36 activation fee. Credit valid 4 day plans may not be exact match. See website for eligible plans. Offer ends 1/7/16. Savings through 1/8/18. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Contract valid via reward card requires online registration.
Blog Talk Radio.
KLJ.
The coolest radio station on the net.
Another intriguing episode of AfroCentriX with your brother at arms, Ed Real Talk Smith, but a new, earlier version of the intriguing episodes of AfroCentriX with your brother at arms, Ed Real Talk Smith. I am that man at an earlier hour that says things most really don't want to hear. I go where most try to avoid. I am that man. That is, not trying to be politically correct or dazzle you with my scholarly intellect. No, I am your host of the show that you come to talk about current or past American topics from an Afro-centric perspective. I am that man that brings it real to do what I need to do for my audience to learn and grow and make sense of what's really going on. On tonight's show, we will talk about something that many don't care to deal with. And that's people that never really had money that suddenly come into money and don't handle it very well. Tonight's show, this show, we will discuss Ghetto-Fabulousness and its intricacies, and we will look at the mentalities and the realities of those that find themselves suddenly thrusted into having a level of wealth that they are not accustomed to, regardless of how they got the money. We'll go into those things. Tonight, we will look at a very pertinent part of our makeup, black or white, in or out of black society, or the urban community, so to speak, which is a grand contributor to the formulaic makeup of the community as a whole. Hood-richism and ghetto-fabulousness is an underrated condition that goes undetected very easily. Tonight, we will explore some of these conditions, types of situations, and circumstances, as well as the circumstances that make them possible. Tonight, I will bring this to the forefront, and we'll talk about why these situations exist, although many of us tend to not want to speak about these things too much. We will discuss examples, real and contrived. And in doing so, I am coming to you, the AfroCentriX audience, to pull you into this discussion. I want to know your take on tonight's topic. Of course, I will, as always, give my feelings. But tonight, I want to focus more on what you all feel. Please join me tonight so we can discuss the aspects of tonight's show entitled The Hood Rich and Ghetto Fabulous, right here on AfroCentriX on KLJN 107.7 Radio Network. For those that have heard me speak on civil, urban, Afro-centric issues, you already know my passion. For those that have not, you will know my passion for civil, urban, and Afro-centric issues. I will be dealing with such issues right here on AfroCentriX, because that's what I do. But first, let me share the dedication for this week. On tonight's show, we will be dedicating to the American victims of the French slaughter a couple of days ago, as well as all others that came to foul play here in France. Our hearts should be with them. Our prayers, our hopes, let's be with them in spirit. The ones who have lost loved ones, and for those that have lost their lives senselessly. I had said in a post or two in Facebook recently that this event is one that touches all of us. It's not about race. religion, or even culture. This is about people, human race, people. My daughter just came back from that very city, and I could have been in that list of mourners. But I would also like to include those also that lost their lives in Africa and nations within. We're talking about Nigeria, Kenya, and many other nations and areas that don't get the same airplay as what happened in Paris. There's many other African areas that are riddled on a regular basis with terrorism. How often does Paris get hit? Not to take it lightly, but African nations go through this on a regular basis. And the world doesn't get to, hey, I'm going to change my profile colors to the African color. We don't do that. But everybody gets all upside down when it happens to Paris. My heart went out for those people. Like I said, that could have been my own blood. It could have been me. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not going to support a government that helps to starve people that I came from in Africa. My heart goes out for those who lost their lives, parents that lost their children. But I will not support a nation that contributes to destroying others. I am very pissed at the Islamic radicals that do these things. I mean, it was the same thing with 9/11. It was the same thing with all these other, terrorism, issues around the world. But for all that are affected, and we all are affected, I give my condolences and my prayers to. Now, there's going to be those that's going to give me that problem, and I'm going to say this. Don't give me that America is a terrible country, that bullshit, Ned. I don't want to hear it. As I said in my Facebook post, that could have been my blood spilled over there. There are major a-holes that don't deserve to breathe the same air we do here. And if that makes me like a bad guy, then say hello to the bad guy. I'm pissed. So let's also dedicate this show of support that I see for Paris to the Kenyan and other African nation attacks. Now, I know there will be those that will still say, Ed is a sellout having the nerve to feel for the white man's terrorist problems, but don't care about the terrorism done to our African brothers in Kenya. As you say what you will about my say, let me ask you this. Why am I a sellout? Because I want to give condolences to those that have been terrorized. As my own brethren here are being terrorized here in this country. That's another show. I'm not getting into it tonight. Until I get an answer to that, I will continue to feel for humans of all races that are oppressed and terrorized, while other blacks choose not to and call me a sellout. If honoring those of my relative descendage is a bad thing, then as I said earlier, say hello to the bad guy. Before we go into the rest of this show, please check out this clip, followed by a song that I think kind of sums it up. It's going to be mentioning the attacks on Kenya, after which we'll be right back.
At least 147 people, mostly students, have been killed in an assault by Al-Shabaab militants on a university in northeastern Kenya. Heavily armed attackers stormed Garissa University early on Thursday, killing 2 security guards, then firing indiscriminately on students. 4 of the gunmen were eventually surrounded in a dormitory and died when their suicide vest detonated. It is the deadliest attack yet by Al-Shabaab. The militants singled out Christians and shot them, witnesses said. More than 500 students managed to escape, 79 of whom were injured. A 5th gunman has reportedly been arrested.
As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Na 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 na. Yeah, I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some we know, not a nickel alone. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? Or will a deeply sky somebody's broken heart and a washed out dream? They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, yeah, make the change. Get it right, yeah. Close your mind with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world, and then make that change. Na 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 na. Yeah. Yeah. Na 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 na. I'm gonna make a change for what's in my life.
And we are back on right here on AfroCentriX. On the show which is named The Hood Rich and Ghetto-Fabulous. I'm going to tell you guys what inspired me to do this show. Actually, I had planned on doing something totally different, but over the last week, within the last almost a week, some things that transpired. I was involved in some exchanges on Facebook in my Real Talk African American Issues group, and I had found this post, and I had placed it in my group, and I was surprised that it got like boodles and coodles of responses, right? And the post, it basically was a post about a picture of a young man sitting on a bus or a train. And, he has like a lap full of, lots of money with, and holding up lots of money with someone sitting in front of him with, obviously a cell phone camera. And the question that this one brother had posted on his Facebook page was this: why are dudes so effing ignorant? This is the S that makes us look bad as hell as a culture. This dude has all this money, wearing a Gucci belt, riding the bus. Not only that, but he is flashing his money in public. You can tell me, ain't that crazy? What are some productive things that he could do with this money to better himself? So I decided to repost that with his caption. And, we had some pretty major, interesting conversations on that very post, And, of course, you got some that have came to the guy's defense. Well, how do you know he's not on his way to pick his car up out the impound? I mean, like, really? I mean, really? Think about it. Is that really a probable, reality? I mean, just think about it. But before we get really into that, I wanted to make this announcement. Of course, if you guys would like to participate in the conversation tonight, or if you just want to hear me talk by myself, it's up to you. But if you do want to talk with me, you can you'll have your chance as well later on when I open up the phones. So just chill, get comfy, and hang out with the coolest Afro-Centric show on internet radio right here on KLJN, the coolest and the bestest Northern California award-nominated radio network. To those listening online, call the number 914-205-5481. Later on, when we do open the phones, just remember to push 1 if you want to get in on the convo. Or just listen, like I said, and just hear me talk. Either way, enjoy the flow of the ride. Right after the next break, we're going to have some more interesting cuts for you. But before we get into the next break, I did want to continue a little bit more about the reason for this show. Okay, this is not the first type of a post that has been put in the Facebook groups. For those of you that are not familiar with Facebook, Google it. Now, this is what I'm going to say about that. I mean, there have been other posts similar and related to this type of a topic. There was one response that a brother posted a picture in the comment section about I don't know if you guys have heard of this big, gigantic kingpin down from South America. His name is Pablo Escobar, and they said he was making $60 million a day, but you never have a picture of him holding money. I saw later on in that same string, there was a picture of Jay-Z, in a crowd of other rappers and stuff, right? And even though he's the richest guy in the room, he was the only one that didn't have on a gold chain. Okay? And so these kind of things, it's been said many a time, I've heard many people say it, that if you got to tell people you're rich, maybe you're not. Okay? If you got to show people what you got, maybe that's all you got. Therefore, it's not that much. People just don't understand what being rich actually means, okay? It doesn't mean just having a lot of money, okay? You can have a lot of money and still be poor as hell. I mean, that's just the bottom line, real talk, okay? But so many people don't understand that, especially those that came up from not having. Okay? I'm not saying it's just, let's not get it twisted. I'm not going to say it's just people that came from the projects or from the ghetto or from, from poverty. You have people that were born in money that don't have value of money because they never known not to have it. Okay? So the thing is, we have to look at, I'm going to try to bring this to the forefront tonight so that we can look at what having money really means. Does it mean your pocket being fat or your bank account being fat or just having your life laid out right? Okay? There's differences from having money and having your resources flowing good. Okay? I'd rather have a good steady flow of resources than a pocket full of money. Okay, you know why? Because that money, it's going to dwindle eventually, okay? But that flow of resources is going to keep replenishing my pocket. You see what I'm saying? But those that get these lump sums, I don't care if it's from income tax or workman's comp or disability or lawsuits or the lottery, whatever it is. There's been many lottery winners that have won millions of dollars, and 2 years later they're pushing a cart, picking up cans on the street, because they don't know nothing about handling money, okay? It's not just about spending the money or blowing it. A lot of times they can get swindled out of it, okay? There's all kinds of different ways people lose their fortunes. Talk to a lot of ex-football players and basketball players, okay? So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get really into it, and hopefully we can get some of you guys out there that's listening to, come in and bring your take in. But don't think I need you to come in. I mean, I can do this by myself all night, but I would prefer, to have somebody else to talk with, okay? I mean, I don't need to teach myself. I already know these things. Okay, so right after the break, we will commence to delving into further into this week's topic. And that first break is going to be coming up very shortly. But let me say this before we go into the first break. When you got someone who comes into a great deal of money, regardless if they're, if it's a job or, like I said, a settlement or, they're drug dealing and they put in a good job or whatever, or they robbed a bank or whatever thing they did to get them that big sum of money. The thing is, somebody who's not used to having money, they're going to make a lot of mistakes, okay? Because they don't know nothing about investing. They don't know nothing about properly securing or making money work for them, okay? And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to buy things that's really dumb, They're not going to make wise decisions financially, And then like the picture of the guy I explained with all the money on the bus or the train, and it makes no sense to sit there and flash. And I've seen so many people. I know relatives of mine I've seen do the same thing on Facebook. They get the income tax check or whatever it is, and they got to sit there on Facebook with a big old fan of money. And you don't realize you're letting the world know that's all you got. And you just lucked up and got some today. Next week you'll be broke. I mean, come on. That's hood rich, ghetto fabulous, mentality. Now, what is hood rich and ghetto fabulous? Okay. That's what we're going to be talking about, okay? But until we get deeper into it, as I was saying before, this is an earlier time for us. I'm adjusting to the earlier time. So as I get further adjusted and prepare for the rest of the show, I would like you guys to listen up for the next song. It's a cut by Rihanna, and as soon as that break, that song break is over, we're going to come back and continue with Hood Rich and Ghetto Fabulous right here on AfroCentriX on the KLJN Radio Network.
Throw it up, watch it all fall out. Blow it up, That's how we ball out. Throw it up, throw it up. Watch it all fall out. Blow it up, blow it up. That's how we ball out. Strip clubs and dollar bills. Still got more money. Drone shots, gonna get a refill. Still got more money. Strippers gone up and down that pole. Still got more money. 4 o'clock and we ain't going home. Still got more money. Money makes the world go round. Still got more money. Fans make your girl go down. Still got more money. Time more where that came from. Still got more money. So look in your eyes and know you want some. Still got more money. Oh, all I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs. Money on my mind. Money on my mind. Throw it up. Watch it fall off from the sky. Throw it up. Watch it all fall out. Blow it up. That's how we ball out. Throw it up. Watch it all fall out. Blow it up. That's how we ball out. 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 That lake cost $100 bills. And I still got more money. Gold all up in my grill. Still got more money. Who cares how you hate or feel? And I still got more money. Call Jay up and close the deal. Still got more money. My fragrance on and they love my smell. Still got more money. So who cares about what I spend? Still got more money. My pockets deep and they never end. Still got more money. I'm going dumb with all my friends. Still got more money. All I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs. Money on my mind. Money on my mind. Throw it up. Watch it fall off from the sky. Throw it up. Watch it all fall out. Blow it up. That's how we ball out. Throw it up. Watch it all fall out. Blow it up. That's how we ball out. That's how we ball out. That's how we ball out. That's how we ball out.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Terrellyn, host of Fire and Ice, and you're listening to KLJN 107.7, the hottest and coolest radio station on the net. Peace.
Hello, and we is back. I am going to reintroduce you guys back to us here on the show tonight, the Hood Rich and Ghetto-Fabulous, right here on AfroCentriX. We're going to talk about what the mentality on this kind of things are as far as what is Ghetto-Fabulous, what is Hood Rich. But first, what I wanted to do before we get into that, I want to bring some attention to some birthdays in the past week, starting from last Sunday, November the 8th. Actress Alfre Woodard on November the 8th. Actress Dorothy Dandridge, November the 9th. Comedian actor Sinbad, November the 10th. Singer Tevin Campbell, November 12th. And don't forget about Whoopi Goldberg, November 5th. And Yafakato, today, November 15th. Now, getting that out the way, let's move on back to our show. I'm going to talk more about how I feel about with this whole mentality of Ghetto-Fabulous. People that get money, they think that the first thing they're supposed to do is buy clothes, hair, jewels, cars, fancy whatever. They don't even think about investment. When you think about, buying this is money. All you're thinking about is fun, and buying stuff wondering they never had or what have you. And I believe it's got a lot to do because of the way the people from the urban environments are educated or not educated. They're not educated on with a capitalist mentality. They're only educated on things that don't make them money. The only mentality they're taught is how to get a job. They teach you the basic education. Reading, writing, arithmetic. But they don't teach you about banking and stock markets and, what dividends are and, those kind of things. These kind of things you learn if you do something on your own as you grow up. But it's a good thing to have people around you that are into those things that they can tell you about them, so when you grow up, have that mentality. I was one of those kids that I grew up around people that had jobs. Some of them had their own businesses, but they were still, even their own businesses were like own their own job. And I thought that was cool. If you're not going to work for somebody else, then get your own business. But I didn't realize, that if you get your own business, it's just your own job. What's the point? Sometimes you're better off working for somebody else. Because if I can get a job making $15 an hour here, but then I have my own business, after overhead and paying employees and taxes and expenses and supplies and da-da-da-da-da, I round it out and I make less than minimum wage, working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week with no overtime. Okay. So I'm like, man, I'd be better working, working for Target or something, or Walmart, So, but the mentality was finish school, get a job. Get a job. That was your mentality. That was the whole. Then the late 70s, early 80s came in. Gangster rap, wound up picking up the scene and encouraged a lot of young brothers to make fast money, get out there, slang and just make it work. Do what you got to do, but get that money, And we had that get that money mentality. And the whole get that money mentality, which it had a kind of a cool ring to it, but outside of the dangers and the risks involved as far as getting hurt, killed, or locked up. But and then, of course, they look around and they see the guys that were hustlers, that were successful to some extent, riding in the cars and the clothes and the this and the that. And it was impressing young guys and women. And so they ended up going there, trying to this money, trying to do what they saw somebody else doing, not realizing the risks at the time, at first. There are many guys that are ex-dope dealers or ex-thieves or ex-robbers or ex-whatever they used to do that was illegal. They will tell you they didn't think about the risks they got into it. All they thought about was the glamour and the bling-bling and the benefits if they were able to do it. Then you have those that do come up and they are kind of successful. They do good in their illegal dealings and they have money. And but what the thing is with a lot of them is they make a mistake and they allow themselves to get too flashy. And the next thing you know, they're being picked up by the cops. And it's really ironic. It's really ironic when you see that they get themselves put in jail, and the first thing they say, I was snitched on. But, I mean, look, man, you're 19, you're driving an $80,000 car, you got $5,000 worth of jewelry on, you're walking around with some $800 shoes, and gold in your mouth, and you ain't got no job. Come on, dude. I mean, who snitched on you again? you know. you know. So then, of course, you got those that just come up, other ways. You got some people that come up with income tax or settlements or, what have you. And, but they do the same kind of thing. They don't know how to handle money. They don't know what to do with what they got. They're not used to having money. So the only thing they know to do is to flaunt it. In recent years, you've had this social media explosion, and now people go online and they post up pictures of themselves called selfies. And a lot of times when these people come into this money, they'll flash this money to show the world that they're rich. Okay. And I've seen it so many times. I've seen it with everybody from dope dealers all the way up to rappers. And like I said before, like I said earlier in the show, it's been said, those that's got real money, they don't flash it. Have you ever seen Oprah taking pictures with money flashed in her face? Have you ever seen Michael Jordan pictures with money in his face? Jay-Z, and he is a rapper. Okay? So the thing is, when you got money, you don't have to flaunt it. Okay? Because people know you got money. A person that's got it don't have to showcase it because everybody knows it. But unfortunately, a lot of urban folks believe that having it, you got to show it. Have you ever walked into somebody's house and they have money? Every time you go in their house, they have money laying around. They have change. Sometimes dollar bills laying around on the end tables, different places around the house, right? Have you ever wondered why is that with some people? Sometimes they have 5s or 10s or something just folded up, laying around here and there in the house, right? And then, of course, the higher the status of the person, the higher the denomination of the money. I've been in there with people where they left 50s and $100 bills just laying around, on the coffee table or laying around. I don't know if they call themselves trying to test folks to see if they're going to steal something or if they're just trying to make it obvious that they got money. I don't know what it is. I've always wondered what that meant. Why do you want to leave your money laying around the house? What does that mean? Why do you need to have money laying in different parts of your house? I mean, I know it's your home. I know you can do that because it's your home, but why do you do that? I've seen that so many times. That's a personal thing that I've always wondered. If somebody could call or inbox me or something or let me know what the answer to that is, I truly appreciate it. That's something that's been bugging me ever since I was a youngster. Why do people leave money laying around the house? Is that a part of the Ghetto-Fabulous mentality? In other words, if you see money in the house, that means you got it. In other words, if I see change on the table, that means I have some change. In other words, I'm not broke as long as I can see it mentality. Is that what it is? Or am I just, imagining? But in any case, that was just something I was just throwing out at you guys. Now, I'm going to go into why I think people really get into the Ghetto-Fabulous mindset. When you think of somebody like Nene Leakes, for instance, from the Atlanta Housewives, and that episode a few years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, when she got into it with the other chick, and then she, made that famous line, I'm rich, And I thought, when I heard that coming out of a woman who hadn't really been nobody a couple of years before, now all of a sudden she made a little money and she's announcing to the world that she's rich. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, what's the point of even going there? I mean, of course, if somebody asks you, well, yeah, I'm rich, but why would you just come out there and use that as if it's a weapon or some kind of a badge of distinction? You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's just on me. But now, getting back to the post, I see some responses of people that say, when a man feels he has to announce he has money, either he has somebody else's money or it's not his. Also, people don't realize when they're in a public place showing off money, they're setting themselves up to get robbed and things of that nature. Not to mention, see, this guy that's got this picture on Facebook, for all we know, he could owe child support back money. Don't he realize that child support folks look at Facebook? And he's sitting up there with all this money. He owes back child support. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to get that letter. We seen your ass on Facebook. So, but that's just a thought. I mean, people just don't think when they do stuff like that on a public social forum like Facebook. It's just so crazy. But that's just my take. I mean, I could be wrong. That's just how I feel about it. Anyway, let's look at a couple of these posts, these responses on Facebook, if we could. I'm not going to name the names. I'm just going to recite the what was posted. You guys can get an idea that it's not just me that is on this. Okay. For instance, let me pick this one here. I already told you about the Pablo Escobar one. How about the one that says, this one lady says, all I can say is, on the damn bus, shaking my head, symbol. And then we got another person that says, another brother that says, how is blacks bashing blacks? What's wrong with open dialogue? Pick your sensitive self. Why are you so sensitive about someone? First of all, public expression by flashing large sums of money on a public bus, well, of course, that's your prerogative, that's your right. But what we're talking about here is why? What's the point? Who are you trying to impress? All you're doing is setting yourself up to be jacked. That's all you're doing. And don't think because you're not in the hood, well, I'm riding the bus in Beverly Hills or whatever. We'll get robbed in Beverly Hills too, dude. Okay? And trust me, newsflash, black folks ain't the only ones to be robbing. Boy, ain't nothing but white boys on this bus, okay? There's no white robbers, dude. Come on. But, that's just my take. I could be wrong, Let's see another one. This young lady named Tamika, I'm just going to use her first name. She said, education is key. We as a people have been brainwashed by the induction to capitalist America and believe that money and material things such as clothes, shoes and the show of money equals status and give a person meaning. Many of us are blinded to the real concept that houses and investments are where the real gain is. I believe forums such as this are needed in order to help educate. I, too, do not believe in bashing. I believe in educating. We are constantly fighting a war which I believe many blacks do not see. I'm going to like that one on Facebook here. And I'm going to ask you guys, even if you don't call in, just think about that statement. Do you agree or disagree with what this lady just said? I mean, people, I believe that's what it is. You know, people are brainwashed. They're raised to believe money and material things such as clothes, shoes, etc., is equal to status. I think I said something like that earlier. That's what people think. You know, when you got money, then you got it. But basically, all you have is a tool to have. Let me say that again. All you have is a tool to have. Okay? Money in itself is just that, a tool. It's an inanimate object. If the banks were to fall today, what do you think your dollar would be worth tomorrow? It is a tool. It is not a substance itself. It's to help you get substances. It's something to work with. It's something to grow you with. But it's not substance in itself like many believe. Money is to use as a tool to work with, not to just flash and say, hey, I got money. Because money is something that can blow away in the wind. But if you don't have any substantial backing that you achieved with that money, it'll just be a matter of time when you won't have it. Real talk. Let's go to another one. Here is a one guy says buy a car, because he's riding the bus or the train. Another one says get an education, invest in his future, and then get a. And then another one says, this may sound harsh, but I promise you, it is by far the most productive thing this idiot could ever do with money. Pay his baby mama's rent, pay his mother's rent, give away whatever's left to a funeral home, find a vacant lot, and shoot himself in the head. I promise you, he couldn't get any more productive than that. That's kind of harsh, you know. I mean, I don't know what y'all think, but you know, I'll let that simmer with y'all. Another person says same thing: buy a car, get off the bus. Somebody posted up a meme with a picture of Jay-Z in a suit saying that people with money don't take pictures with it. Okay, and then, of course, one of the pictures that I use in my promos is a picture of Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent, you know, with their armfuls of money, you know, with the little Illuminati signs that Flip throwing up and everything. And then you got, let me see, who else here? And and the other one I was talking about where this guy put up a meme that shows a room full of rappers, and the only one in the room that doesn't have a chain is Jay-Z, and you know he's the richest one as well. So that's kind of a message in itself. Okay, let's try one more, and then we're going to do something else. He's a smart baller making a stupid mistake. Real G's fly under the radar. Police can't pull you over if you're not driving. They're looking for hustlers rolling on dubs. They aren't looking for hustlers rolling on public transport. But flashing his money is like stupid. So, I mean, I kind of get that post, and, you know, So the whole idea, after seeing these things that I've seen here, I mean, it goes on and on. This is a really heavy post. I'm going to share one comment that I made. The good in this post, because there's a lot of people that were saying, okay, I've had this one person that said, I didn't find any good in this post, just stating the fact that we don't know what he has that's probably not even his, clothes or money. A lot of laughs. Like I said, who knows, he could be on his way to get his car out of the inbound. Or to get a license. His license could be suspended, the reason why he's on the bus. Meanwhile, blacks love finding negative stuff and throwing all blacks on the boat with that whole us crap. Life is too short to be worried about what people that you don't even know choose to do with theirs. Say a prayer for the brother. Well, my response to this person was, the good in this post is to point out the ignorance of many of black folks when they do finally get some money. Because if he was used to having money, he wouldn't be doing this. Then the person responds to me saying it still doesn't have anything to do with anyone but himself and his foolishness. So I'm like, now this person just wants to go back and forth on this thing. And I'm like, I'm not even tripping. So I moved on. Okay. But then later on, this person comes back with another post saying, the point is, if you mind your own, you might live long. I'm just saying. About him taking pictures of his money, I don't know. I don't care, that's what he said. About him riding a bus, wearing branded clothes, and I don't care if he lives with his mother. It's not my business, and it's not affecting me. Only a fool would be worried about what he's doing. He's not hurting anyone but himself, so it shouldn't matter what he's doing or how he's doing it. I never said anything about how he got the money, so where does that fit into the equation? And, of course, you know me, I had to come back. I said, that right there is what's wrong with the black race. What you just said is not my business. Yes, we are our brother's keeper. Okay? The point I was making with that response was, that's one of the reasons that black folks have. It's not my business, not my problem. Yes, it is your problem because it's part of your community. You're sitting back watching these things happen, and you're not saying nothing to the person. You're not even, tripping on it. It's not my business. Okay? We can point these things out to what is wrong in our society. I'm not saying go to every brother you see that you see doing something awkward and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm not saying that. But you should not be afraid to mention these things in a forum such as my Facebook groups or even on a show like this. You should not be afraid to mention your concerns of things that you know are bad image-wise, okay, or mentality-wise. You should not be deterred to talk about these things, to bring these things up. That's all I'm saying as far as that goes, okay? I guess we can take one more before I go to another break. And that one, well, I'm going to pick a good one here because we're going to go off of this and come to a whole other thing later. Okay, this is good. My friend says that is a train, and he is probably back east where that is common. And I'm like, out east where? Boston, Chicago, New York, Detroit? I don't know about that one. I think he's in some white suburb somewhere, thinking he's safe, okay? And with that, we are about to go into another break. And this break we're going into is going to include a clip right after, and then right after that we're going to play a song that kind of represents the mentality of some people, not just females, but people in general. People, not only do they believe that they're rich because they have such a wealth in their mind, but also that when someone owes them, they better be ready to kick it over, or it's going to be paid back in consequences. So, with that, we'll be right back after this break and this song, and we'll continue with tonight's show.
While you were running your mouth with him, I was running to the bank, sweetie, and depositing a Trump check. Honey, Donald Trump from you.
I am rich, dead. I am rich, dead. Everybody knows.
Whoosh.
I am rich, bitch.
Donald Trump. Whoosh.
I am rich,
cash money, big time. I was running to the bank, cash money, big time.
Bitch, I'm rich.
Cash money.
1 million to 100 million.
Cash money.
Bitch, I'm rich.
They both can kiss my ass.
She is very rich.
Bad teeth. Rotten. Everybody knows. They're rotten for real.
No teeth.
Bubble.
She is very rich.
I am very rich, bitch.
I am rich, dead.
You looking good.
I am rich, dead. Everybody knows.
I am rich, bitch.
Donald Trump.
I am rich, dead.
Bye-bye, haters.
Yeah, yo. Moolah, yeah, yo. Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood. Pay me what you want it. Ballin' bigger than LeBron. Bitch, give me your money. Who y'all think y'all frontin' on? Like blah, blah, blah. Louis 13 and it's all on me, nigga, you just bought a shot. Kamikaze, if you think that you gon' knock me out the side. Shit, your wife in the backseat of my brand new foreign car. Don't act like you forgot. I called a shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you want it. Don't act like you forgot. Bitch better have my money. Better have my money. Pay me what you want it. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my money. To Rihanna while the whole club fucking wasted. Every time I drop, I am the only thing y'all playing. In a drop top, do 100 y'all in my rearview mirror racing. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Like blah, blah, blah. Louis 13 and it's all on me, nigga, you just bought a shot. Kamikaze, if you think that you gon' knock me off the top. Shit, your wife in the backseat of my brand new foreign car. Don't act like you forgot. I called a shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you want it. Don't act like you forgot. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Pay me what you want it. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Pay me what you want it.
Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Yo, that bitch better have my money. Hold up. My money. Yo, my money. That bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money.
AfroCentriX on the KLJN Radio Network. We are about hood, rich, and ghetto. If you want to check out the show with your friends later, or to download to your computer, click on the AfroCentriX link on KLJN Network webpage at KLJN1077.com. If you have a topic you would like to discuss here on AfroCentriX, or would like to be a guest on our future show to discuss particular issues or any questions you may have, contact us by email at AfroCentriX, realtalk.realtalk@gmail.com. Now, getting back to the show. Now, if y'all want to come in here and join the show, tell me your takes, be my guest, at one button, come on in. Otherwise, I'm here with my sippy-sippies and my books and notes. I'm ready to talk to myself if that's what it has to be, but I really would like to have you guys come in. Even though I can party by myself, not all that cool so often when you got a party by you. You know, I know how to do that, so. But anyway, just wanted to put that out there and invite you guys. Now, we are talking about the Hood Rich and Ghetto-Fabulous. I got another special treat. It's about a comedian by the name of DeRay Davis. And he talks about in the ghetto. I hope you enjoy, and as soon as he's through, another cut right after that by someone you're familiar with. And then after he's done, we'll be right back.
Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Be a millionaire, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Be a millionaire, be a millionaire.
I can hear your heartbeat, you sweating, I can paint a perfect picture.
ya, get deeper and deeper. I told ya I get ya, I work that, murk that, just the way you like it, baby. Turn a quickie into an all-nighter, maybe. Your sex drive, it match my sex drive. Then we be moving this fast, it's a NASCAR ride. Switch gears, slow down, go down, roll now. You can feel every inch of it when we intimate. I use my tongue, baby. I leave you sprung, maybe. I had your head spinning, saying, it's so crazy, so crazy. I don't think no game, you and me in this thing. You what I mean, you what I mean, you what I mean, what I mean. Said a little mama put me on, baby put me on. Said I had to go, you what I mean, you what I mean, you what I mean, what I mean, what I mean. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Be a millionaire, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Be a millionaire, be a millionaire. Girl, I want you to give me what you got and give me more. Baby, you can start on top of all fours. You know I like it when you get into it. Don't nobody do it like I do it. Feel a rush from my touch, get intoxicated. Drunk off my love, call a Hennessy thug. Passion, you laughing, I make a smile on a regular. Tell me what you want, shorty, that's what I'ma get to you. I need you to do what I need, more than listen. I need you to maybe give me a seed. I need you to give me reason to breathe. I need you, I'm telling you, so now you know what I need. I'll be a part-time or full-time lover, significant other. No matter which way it go, I'm most of gutter. Girl, you can get it however you want, get it. I'm telling you, Steph, I'm telling you right now, I'm with it.
Yes, everybody. I was looking for my comedian friend. I was expecting, but for some reason he couldn't make it. So, but I have somebody else. I think this is going to even be more fun. Who's that? I think this is who I think it is. Who's at the door out there? Is that you, lady? Yes.
Yeah, I didn't come through the door though. I came through the window because I wanted to sneak around the back, see how much cash you got laying around back here.
Oh, okay. Why, okay.
How come you got no cash laying out? There's no money back here. What's up? Where's your money?
Oh, I ain't got no money. I stay broke. You know me. My liquor bill's expensive. How you doing, my dear?
I'm good, Ed Smith. I'm doing really well. Thank you so much. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I mean, I was looking for this comedian to come up, to do some stuff for me, but for some reason he got displaced. He got caught in traffic or something. Maybe we can bring him on another time. But as far as the show, what do you think about tonight's topic on Hood Rich and Ghetto-Fabulous?
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I always wonder what's going through these young people's minds. It's not even only young people, but these big, giant, huge watches. And I'm like, do you really need a watch that damn big? You know what I mean? It's flashy. It's showy. It's to show, hey, look what I have. You probably can't afford nothing like this. But, you probably have, like you said, you probably got child support due. Probably driving around. Your registration ain't current. Probably don't have a driver's license. But you got a nice watch, though. You know, I like the way you got all that gold on your teeth. That's real nice. But underneath that gold, what's your dental health like? You know what I mean? Do you even have dental insurance? You know, you can get those gold things on your teeth without even going to a dentist. You can go to some little store on the corner. I know they have them there in Los Angeles. You know, you just go in there and they make a mold of your mouth, and you come, you know, $300, $400 later, depending on how many you're getting, and you got a whole new grill that's covering up all the damage of your real teeth.
In other words, you're covering up the yuck mouth of yours.
You're covering up the yuck mouth with a bunch of gold. I don't know. I just think it's, and I am kind of flashy myself. I can understand the flashiness, and you want to look good, and you want to look like you got a couple dollars in your pocket, but sitting on a bus or a train, sitting on public transportation with thousands of dollars in cash sitting on your lap, and you're taking a picture for Facebook is ignorant. It's ignorant. There's no way to justify that other than that's ignorant. That's dumb. Anybody who's mature and wise enough, especially when it comes to getting that kind of cash, you know, you're not finna show all your money. I'm not supposed to listen. When I get paid, I don't want my folks to know about it. I don't want people to know that I got a little, you know, a little money. I don't want people to know about it, so I'm not gonna flash it on Facebook, take pictures of it. But then again, you know, money comes so fast. Maybe I should take a picture of it just so I can remember what it looked like when I had it.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to do that, like for your personal something, you just want to take pictures of the money, you know. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. But as far as like this guy went to the extent, you know, of getting on a public transport, you know, vehicle, you know, and putting him in, you know, in a situation to where it could have been detrimental. I mean, people have gotten killed for less, a lot less, you know. I mean, so. You know, I don't care if he's packing. He might go, there was somebody with you out there. Man, you know, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Even Iron Man got better sense. You know? Right.
Exactly. When they drive around here, I mean, I've seen what Ghetto-Fabulous and Hood Rich. I've seen what it looks like. I don't understand it. Who are you trying to impress the people in the hood? You know, when you go buy these $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars and trucks, and you know, and you rolling, you know, you got those big old tires. What are they? 24s, 28s, whatever. Big old giant gold rims and Burberry seats and all of those stuff. Who are you? Who are you trying to impress? And you live with your mother. You live with your grandmother. You know, what is that about? You roll around the hood, trying to impress what, other people in the hood?
Exactly.
You know, like don't you wish you could do this? Don't you wish you could buy this? You wish you had this?
I mean, I know guys. I kid you not. I know guys that live in homeless shelters, right? Like veterans or whoever, right? They live in homeless shelters, right? You know, you got into one of those programs, you know, where it's helping them get on their feet. They got to stay in the program for 6 months to a year or whatever. Then they'll help them to get them housing and what have you, right? And then while they're in the shelter, right, they're out there getting their little hustle on. Either they got a job on the side that they're not telling them about, or they got something else going on, you know, that where they're bringing in ducks, right? And here this dude comes roll up at the shelter in a brand new car, you know. I'm like, man, dude, you're in the shelter. Why are you up here? Well, you know, my payment's only like $650 a month. Only $650 a month. You staying in a shelter, dude. You know, why are you paying $650 a month? Well, you know, I mean, come on, dude. First of all, when they find out you're doing all this, they're going to get your butt, and you're going to have to pay back everything that they gave you. You know, but then, you know, why? What is it going on? Why you got to buy a brand new car? Why you just didn't take you $650 or take two $650s and buy you a nice little hoopty, you know, until you do better, until you get out of that shelter. Get you a place first, you know, and then go buy you know, once you get yourself established, then if you still want to get a car on credit, if your income is that cool, then go for it. But when you're in a shelter, when you're in a welfare state, okay, and you're sitting up here trying to impress folks by buying things that you really can't afford, okay, to impress people that really don't give a damn. That is not intelligent. That is an example of Ghetto-Fabulous or hood rich. Okay, people that ride around in all these fancy cars. I'm driving this. And like you said, with the dubs, and everything. And and don't even go there. Don't let me get started on the guys that spend $15,000 to put wheels on a 1982 Nova.
Well, I've also seen women walk around looking like fools, getting dollar bills and $100 bills weaved and glued into their hairstyle. So you walk around with cash money in your hair, or they cut the corners off of money and put it on their nails so that it looks like, hey, I'm all about the money. I'm money. That's it. But then again, you know what? To people like that, you and I are haters. You know that, right? Yeah. We're haters because we're thinking against it. We must be mad because they're rich or whatever. No, it's just you're ignorant. I'm not mad at somebody who makes a lot of money, who earns a lot of money. That's fine, but I think that at some point in your life, you have to realize that there's a smart way to handle your money, to make it last longer, to make it really, if it's legit money, if it's legitimate money. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a little girl, I thought my mother was ghetto-fabulous. In fact, I still think that she is ghetto-fabulous. I'm telling you, I think the word, if you're looking in the dictionary, there's probably a picture of my mother right there next to Jay-Z now. But she's ghetto-fabulous. I remember when we were younger, and we were on welfare, okay? We were getting food stamps. My mother did not want to go to the store to use food stamps because that was going to tarnish her image that she was trying to uphold in the ghetto. Really? I don't want nobody to know I'm on food stamps, And she's always had a nice car, but she would send us to the store to get groceries because Mom didn't want to use coupons because coupons meant that you needed to save money. And if you need to save money, you probably don't have money, and that's something that Mom said, I don't want people to know I don't have money. I don't want to look like I don't have money, so I'd rather pay full price, and she's like that to this very day. My mother will pay full price. She don't believe in 99-cent stores. She won't go to thrift stores. She won't go to budget-type, merchants, but she wants to pay that full. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it, but she's got through all these years being like that.
Sound like my ex-wife. But the whole thing is, there are women like that. There's some guys like that too now, though. It's not just the women thing. Like I said, you got guys that spend all that money on their cars, them old raggedy-ass cars. They'll put umpteen thousands of dollars in a $400 car, And
right.
The same thing. So the women and guys, you got that mentality is unisex. Okay, it's not men or women more. Just individuals. Period. Are like that. And before I let in the next caller, I am going to make one more point. As far as the mentality of people that do have this fetish of when they receive, because it's like one of those kind of fetishes you get if you receive money that you never had. Okay, so if you caught up and develop this fetish because of some recent wealth or getting a hold of some money or lump sum or what have you, this is a way that I think that you can recognize for yourself that you have the Ghetto-Fabulous mentality. When you decide to buy things that you know in your own heart that you're never going to fully utilize based on the price of it, that's one sign that you are Ghetto-Fabulous. That's one sign. Okay? Like, for instance, if a person goes out and buy a handbag, okay, for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000,
and they know they're barely going to have $50 or $100 or even $500 in the bag at any one point ever in life. They're going to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just to say I got this bag. Okay, I mean, what's the point of that? Okay, and the same thing with people that want to spend, thousands of dollars for a pair of shoes. They're only going to wear it once or twice. Okay, just because they got the money to spend. Okay, I see that with rappers, athletes, other celebrities all the time. They spend big money on things that just don't make no sense. If you see yourself doing that, then you'll know in yourself that you have a Ghetto-Fabulous fetish. Okay? Now, with that being said, I think we have a caller. I haven't, my vibrator is on, so that's how I know I have a caller. So somebody. I mean vibration. Sorry. I have it on vibrate. Okay, not. No, I got. I knew Lady Jazz. I forgot.
Well, I think another. Before you go to your call, I think another demonstration of being ghetto-fabulous, or hood rich, or whatever you want to call it, is. By the way, I found $67 in a coat that I pulled out of a closet from last year. I should take a picture of that and put it on Facebook. Like, yeah, I'm rich, bitch. No, but anyway, I'm thinking about it. Damn, I'm sorry, I forgot my thoughts. So go to your caller, please.
Mm-hmm. Well, right before, one more, since you got me thinking again, caller, could you hold on just for a sec? This is one more thing you can tell if you got that Ghetto-Fabulous fetish going on. If you found $20 on the ground, and you go around bragging to 20 or more friends that you found $20 on the ground, you have a Ghetto-Fabulous fetish. Okay? Because why you got to tell everybody, oh, I found $20, oh, I found $20, oh, I found $20, okay? Why?
Okay, well, that's different. That's not Ghetto-Fabulous. You're just excited that you found some cash that you didn't have to steal this time. That's not Ghetto-Fabulous. You're just excited about it. I found $67. I'm not Ghetto-Fabulous. That $67 is gone already, okay? It's already gone. But,
okay. It depends how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. You're supposed to look at it the way I look at it.
That's a whole other stuff. Caller, you want to come in? Caller?
Yes.
Hello, who you be?
This is Kat.
Hey, Kat, what's up, girl? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good because your show is before 11 p.m., Eastern Standard Time. So I'm awake.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved it up.
It caught me off guard, too. You ain't by yourself. Okay. I'm glad that you could make it here. And so what's your take on what we're talking about as far as this hood rich and Ghetto-Fabulous mentality fetish?
Well, since I was raised in the projects, in the hood, streets, concrete jungle, whatever you want to call it, I've seen it all. And one of the things that I wanted to address was when Bill Cosby had made a statement, and he made the statement at a university, and this is before the, fiasco that he's going through now, but he had said something that really resonated with me, something that I didn't see. Our hood didn't do a whole lot of these hood rich things that you see nowadays, but one of the things that he had said about the mothers that was on welfare and getting, living in public housing on Section 8, why are you spending hundreds of dollars on your kids' shoes? Like you're buying Michael Jordans for your second grader, that you're spending hundreds of dollars for, and you live in the projects on food stamps and welfare. Boy, oh boy, you should have seen people coming at him. He was called everything but a solid guy.
I remember that.
And me was a resident that the mentality that for our own, especially for the Black community, that you're getting upset and mad at a comment that is so true in resonance of the lifestyle that we live, that some Blacks live, that you are paying hundreds of dollars on your shoe and you have no life insurance, no life plan, no say. That child could go to college twice over if you start paying $100 for their shoes in second grade. By the time they get to college, you would have have enough money to furnish and his whole first year apartment and still pay for his books, school books, his books and tuition. And that's real talk. That is real talk. And he got chewed out because of it. He got chewed out.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that is true. I mean, I was having a conversation with somebody just today about that very thing. Not, kind of pretty much what you said there, Kat, on that speech that he gave. That's what really put him in the mix to for what he's going through now, because he pissed off the wrong people. And that's a whole other topic for another show. But yeah, I'm in total agreement. I mean, what he was saying was real talk. I mean, there's too many things that we are at fault on our own, but we rather blame the government, and everything else, But there's a lot of things that we have the opportunity to do. We have access to things that we're just not utilizing. We have the ability. We have things going on, but instead of us realizing that we don't need that $250 pair of Jordans, we feel, well, I'm justified. I got the money that I can do. Then later on, we're complaining about, the light bills and stuff, I mean, so it's a different thing if you're rich and you can afford to buy whatever, But when you're the average person trying to, work and budget and stuff, you can't afford all that kind of stuff, You agree? Y'all agree?
In Atlanta. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was saying here in Atlanta. Yeah, here in Atlanta. Yeah. Well, I was just saying, and here in Atlanta, it's an overkill of Michael Kors. Oh, my gosh. If I see one more freaking Michael Kors, it's an oversaturation. Like, nobody wants to be unique. Who wants to really stand out and be different and have your own class and style? Like, why do I got to buy an MK bag in order to blend in to show you that I got money or possibly the perception that I have money? The bag doesn't signify anything other than it could be a knockoff, It does signify that, like, the way you dress, you're scrabbled from head to toe, your hair is bootleg, your weave is showing, and yet you got a $400 or $500 bag, really? No, I'm thinking you got it from Mr. Wendell down the street. So, I don't know. It's just we lost ourselves in this materialistic, societal-driven world, and we're not willing to stand out to be different. So that's my comment. I just really think this is a good show, and thank you so much for having me on. But yeah, we're caught up in this material, and we need to go back to being our own selves. Being unique from our music to the way we dress. We all had a style and class about us. And you're like, boom, look at that chick over there. Now you see that chick like, boom, oh, boy, she's rocking an MK bag, and she's got bootleg shoes on. Is she bootleg from head to toe? Okay, keep it moving. Oh, well, another chick.
I don't know what it is about our people that when we get a little stack of cash, that the first thing we want to go do is spend it on a whole bunch of stuff that we can't afford. Stuff that we cannot afford. We don't know how to manage. We don't know how to stretch our money and make it work. I got to just mention this wonderful episode yesterday on Fire and Ice where we actually did learn some lessons on how to respect our money. And I think that this show really shows how we are disrespecting our cash. It's disrespect.
I'm definitely in agreement. Because there's nothing wrong with I think that's just human nature to dream, and daydream and wish. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, first of all, how are you going to know what you want when you do get money if you don't dream and wish? You know what I mean? So you got to have an idea of what you want, so when you do get money and able to buy things, you'll know what you want.
I just want to pay my bills off. That's the first thing I want to do is pay my bills off. That's it. Just pay off all my bills. I don't want to go buy an $80,000 car, $70,000 truck, or whatever, and I still owe everybody. I want to pay my bills off.
Exactly. That's common sense too. A person with common sense without that Ghetto-Fabulous fetish would think like that. I'm gonna pay my bills off, and then what I got left over, then we'll work on it. But as far as that goes, I'm taking care of the necessities. My kids' needs. My house. Et cetera, so on. But you got so many people. I know people in my family that are like that. They'll buy new tires for their car before they pay a light bill. So they'll be sitting up in the house in the dark, and the refrigerator off, and the kids is all freezing because it's wintertime. But I got wheels on my car. So that's somebody that it affects priorities of a lot of people. And because they got that Ghetto-Fabulous fetish. Some people think that Ghetto-Fabulous means the grills, or the other fancy things that's going on. That's just part of it. Okay? Generally, a lot of the things that we discussed tonight is what Ghetto-Fabulous is all about. Okay? And
how about that sister or that brother that lives on the block? How about that person that lives on the block in the hood who gets up every day, Monday through Friday, and goes and humps her way to work? And she works a 9 to 5 here. She works a 9 to 5. They got a little piece of car that gets them back and forth to work. They're paying their bills. They come home. They don't get involved with no mess. To me, I think that person is living fabulous because they're living legit, And I'm not saying that struggling is fabulous. I'm not saying that. But to actually have something to show for your money, something that is, and I'm not talking about shoes and bracelets and necklaces and all that old silliness. I'm a costume jewelry kind of chick anyway, I stop at thrift stores and I stop at garage sales and can pick up some really nice stuff. But that chick that's going to work every day, that brother that gets up and goes to work and comes back and feeds his family, to me, that's fabulous. That's fabulous in the ghetto. That other mess is just for show. It's flashy, and it's not going to last. It's not going to last. You don't know what to do with it.
Actually, Lady Jazz, that could have been an alternate title for this show. We could have said, Ghetto-Fabulous versus Fabulous Ghetto. Fabulous in the Ghetto. Okay? Because there's different... Okay? Fabulous in the Ghetto and Ghetto-Fabulous are two totally opposite polar things, okay? I mean, because like you just said, that is fabulous. If a person is, going to work, doing the right thing, and they're making things work, they're taking care of their bills, and, things are working. Then you got the other side, what we're talking about tonight, the Ghetto-Fabulous. The Ghetto-Fabulous is the mindset, okay? Because the whole idea of a ghetto is not a place. Okay, that's what people think. Ghetto is, just a rundown. No, you can live in an upscale, high-rise apartment and be ghetto. Okay, it's not a place; it's a mindset. Okay, Ghetto-Fabulousness is a mindset. Okay, you're in the hood. Okay, how you act in the hood determines if you're Ghetto-Fabulous or fabulous in the hood. You follow me on that?
I don't know if I agree with that, but I follow you.
Okay, well, you're just trying to be difficult. I ain't true. But as far as what I'm trying to say is, if you're doing the right thing, right? You get your money. You're paying your bills. You're taking care of your family. Your dad is taking care of the kids. The woman is taking care of her house. Whatever the case is, okay, then you have extra money to do what you need to do. If you want to, buy you some extra frills and deals, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But you have your priorities in order to, like you said, pay your bills, take care of your responsibilities first. Then, do whatever else if you have something left. While you have other people Their sole mentality is buying hair and jewels and look good. You know, they want to go out, so when they go out, they want to be flashy-bashy and impress folks while their house look like a junkyard, see? You know, or the lights is off, or the water's off, or the gas is off, or the kids need shoes and stuff like that, see? That's somebody who has a Ghetto-Fabulous mentality. You agree?
Well, what I agree that there's some truth to the saying that you can take somebody out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the person. And I believe that is referring to their mentality. But I also believe that ghetto is an actual place. It's an underdeveloped, a lot of times very poor, very broke neighborhood, very poor part of town that gets less attention from the city than other parts of the city. So I do believe that the ghetto is a place, and even if you've grown up in the ghetto and you move to that high rise uptown somewhere very, very nice, you can still bring that ghetto with you. You know, I know what you mean by that, but I just disagree with you saying that the ghetto was not a place. And I believe.
Okay, well, what I'm saying, I understand that. Let me see if I can kind of clear up the perception a little bit. The ghetto mentality, okay? I'm talking about being poor doesn't mean you're in a rundown neighborhood. Being poor can be a mentality, okay? You can live in a nice apartment or a nice house and still have a poor mentality, okay? So it's not really the neighborhood itself. Yes, there are some rundown areas. I'm not going to say that ghetto is a fictitious thing. No, I know ghettos are real. I know that. I'm just saying the mentality, okay? You know, when a person grows up from wherever they came and they go from there to here, okay, and they still think the same way they did when they was there. That means that ghetto, like you just said, that ghetto followed them, okay? They came out the ghetto, but the ghetto followed them inside of their mind. You follow me now? You agree with me on that?
I'll agree with you.
How would you, now, also, could you agree with this, that many people have them dreams of being rich and wealthy, and they think of all the kind of things that they could buy and all that kind of stuff? You know, have you had those kind of dreams and imaginations as a child?
Oh, no, I don't drink this. Yes, I believe everybody. I believe everybody who is... especially people who are, you know, struggling or living month to month or paycheck to paycheck, and then you get your paycheck on Monday, and by Friday you're broke again, count down days to your next paycheck. Yes, we have dreams of being financially stable. Who doesn't? You know, you have those dreams where, you know, and some of us are actually working toward that dream.
Right.
You know, not being rich, but just being financially stable to where you don't have to worry about your bills and about about everything.
Exactly. Some people say, I just want to be comfortable. You got some people that want to be wealthy, okay, because generally when you're wealthy, you control things when you're wealthy, okay, you know. But being comfortable is a good thing, too. So it depends on who you are.
I want to be wealthy.
You know,
I'm trying to be wealthy.
There's nothing wrong with either way. You know, being comfortable or wealthy is either way is just a noble thing. Now, you know, since I'm thinking about this song, you know, that talks about that very thing, why don't we go ahead and play this song that talks about that mentality? Somebody who wished on what they wanted to do or what they want to have or how they want to be. And we'll be right back to continue the discussion. How's that, Lady Jazz?
That's good.
Oh,
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shiny lights, yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. Yeah, I would have a show like Oprah. I would be the host of Everyday Christmas. Give Travis your wish list. I probably pull a Angelina and Brad Pitt and adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. Give away a few Mercedes like, here lady, have this. And last but not least, grant somebody their last wish. It's been a couple months that I've been single, so you can call me Travis Claus minus the ho-ho. Get it? I probably visit where Katrina hit, and damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. Yeah, can't forget about me, stupid. Everywhere I go, I'ma have my own theme music. Oh, every time I close my eyes, what you see, bro? I see my name in shining lights. Oh, yeah, a different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire. I'll be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss a couple million in the air just for the heck of it, but keep the 520 Tizzard bins completely separate. Yeah, I'll be in a whole new tax bracket. We in recession, but let me take a crack at it. I'll probably take whatever's left and just split it up, so everybody that I love can have a couple bucks. And not a single tummy around me would know what hungry was, eating good, sleeping soundly. I know we all have a similar dream. Go in your pocket, pull out your wallet, put it in the air and sing. I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. Buy everything. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. What up, Oprah? Oh, every time I close my eyes, what you see, bro? I see my name in shining lights. Oh, yeah, a different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad.
Oh, that told the story right there. What do you think, Lady Jazz? Did it? Okay, well, I think it told the story.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was nice. You want to be on a magazine with Oprah and the Queen. That's beautiful.
I'm not saying that's what I would want to do. I mean, I don't care a lot of the things you were saying. But I'm just saying that's the kind of a mentality that people have. They have their own little dreams and people they would like to be around and people they would love to take pictures with. I'm quite sure you're like that. I'm like that. There's certain places I would like to be, certain places I would like to visit, people of fame with. I mean, even a person like myself who was in transportation, and I met a lot of celebrities and athletes and stuff like that. Some of them were pretty cool. But I'm not the kind of person that wants to just rub elbows just to be rubbing elbows, But it'll be a nice thing to be in the same position as a lot of people I've come across and know about. You agree, Lady Jazz?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, when you got those people that want to pretend like they have things that they really don't, like the one like the guy on the bus, or like other people that claim I'm rich, and just because they got a little something. I've known a couple of lotto winners myself, and within a couple of years they were broke. One won some millions, and another one won like $100 and something $1,000. Both of them within a couple of years they were broke. So, and I've also known other people that came into other kinds of settlements, over the years. Had friends, all kinds of things. But if you don't handle your money right, if you're not used to having money, it's going to leave you, one way or another. That's just how it is. I know athletes, people I went to school with. They was playing for major teams and stuff, and now they're broke. So it's not about, like you see these rappers and athletes and whoever else with the baller mentality, and then a few years later, They're, working at Burger King or something, So the whole thing is that it's not about having money that makes you who it is, like we mentioned earlier. It's not about having money that makes you be somebody. It's about what's inside of your heart, what's in your mind, your soul, your mentality. You agree with Lady Jazz on that? What's your take on this show before we take it down?
I think it was a wonderful show. I think it was informative. I believe that we need to teach our children at a very young age. I've also seen pictures of young kids with the big watches and the big bling-bling in their ears and, the different pair of Jordans every single day. Not fake Jordans, I'm talking about real Jordans on the little kids, We need to teach our children at a very young age, which is where I'm doing right now, teaching them about the importance of money. What is credit? What is budgeting? How can you help somebody else? And then this is my thing. I would rather, with $100,000, there's so many things that I can think of that I could be selfish and buy for myself, but I would rather, and this is really from my heart, I would rather help someone else get on their feet. You know what I mean? I would rather help somebody else who is struggling worse than me to get on their feet. I'm not interested in buying a big watch, and I'm not interested in buying my teeth with gold, and that's just not my thing. Of course I'm interested in having money. Who isn't? But I'm really interested in helping somebody else. And we have to teach our children that at a very young age. When they start knowing, I heard Mr. PDQ say yesterday, as soon as they know that $1 can buy them something, we need to start teaching them the value of what money is. In the hood, in the ghetto, they see these people with these big watches and a lot of money and a roll of money they could just pull out and throw you 100 and no biggie. Those people tend to be idols to our children, and it's really sad. So somebody's got to be wise and got to be the smart one when it comes to money.
I agree. I mean, I agree with much that PDQ was saying on yesterday's show about the whole money issue. I'm going to say I agree with every single thing, but I mean, I feel at least 90-something%. Okay, because I have a little financial background as well. Being somebody who worked in industries in marketing and sales and things of that nature, as well as some banking stuff. And I'm not getting into that on this show. But what you were saying as far as the people that buy Jordans for their baby, trust me, I know women that I know a woman. Her baby was like a week old, right? And she went to the mall. And she got 7 pairs of Jordans, baby Jordans, 7 pairs. Okay, 7 pair. Okay, not the. It was some mall out there in the upper scale area.
Well, if you can afford it, but we're talking about people who are living above their means, right? Living outside of their means.
I think she was working for the county. She worked for the county, facilities and stuff. She wasn't making that kind of money, but, I'm talking about, and the funny thing about it, the baby shoes are the exact same price as the grown-up shoes. So you're talking about $200 and something for a pair of baby Jordan, okay? And she bought 7 pairs.
They're cheaper. The smaller sizes are cheaper.
Well, where she went, it was about $200. Not that much cheaper. That's the whole point, because they're Jordans, The point is, I don't care if they're half the price, it's still too much. If they're half the price, it's still, you know what I mean? The point is, why are you going to spend that kind of money on an infant? First of all, how many times does a week-old baby wear shoes? A week-old baby is growing.
I just want to tell you, you do have one last caller that needs to come in.
Oh, really? Okay, well, bring them on in real quick, and then we can go ahead and close this out.
Okay. I was feeling the same way, but on the Jordan issues, I think that...
Who is this talking first? Who are you? What is
this? Yes. As far as money, I think that we ought to teach them more on how to conserve it. instead of the problems that we get with it. Because right now, I think we got the youngest youth millionaires that's in the world are African Americans, and they're not showing, the proper way on spending the money. They're just showing like you can get out of control and go baller with it and spend anything. So if maybe we was to be able to some way show them that money can be spent a certain way, then I think maybe that'll slow down a lot of violence, because people getting things and then other people wanting things because they see he got them things. You see what I'm saying? And that's costing money out there. And people are not saying, no, don't spend your money on this and this. Like you said, Jordan, that's pathetic, because right now Jordans are $160. So I wouldn't encourage. Okay, go ahead.
I said or up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I wouldn't encourage nobody, to actually. I had just got out of prison after serving on a wrongful conviction. Me and my brother did, and first thing we got out and did was got companies, and we were getting kids to help us. I did 22 years on a wrongful conviction. My brother did 17 and a half. And, although they paid us, we still went out and got companies so we can get kids to help us, get kids to get jobs and everything. And we don't even got, we don't got money like LeBron and all them. This is what I'm saying. We pay LeBron and them to play basketball. And they don't give us nothing. When we ain't got no money, they don't even think about us that gave them the money.
You sure can't call them. You can't call them and tell them, hey, I'm a little bit behind on my bills. You think you can, loan me a couple $? You can't call them and ask them for no money.
Right, but what I'm saying is they can go to places. They can go to people out there that's in need to get it, instead of giving to charity. Like most charities already got billions of dollars in it. There's 200, 300 millions of dollars in it, and they continue to donate to the hundreds of millions and billion-dollar charities, which is not affecting nothing. So why don't you go to neighborhoods that can actually need this money for start a youth center? That's what we're finna start. And we don't have millions of dollars, but we able to start a youth center. Because back in the days, like you said, we used to have candy stores and all this stuff. You can have kids working. So, but now they don't have this, because the only thing they see is the quick, fast money. And they don't see the problems that it causes, because they too busy looking at it being quick. It ain't about the dope now. It's just about getting the money.
Right. I agree with that. I'm definitely glad that you can come on with that. I'm going to say this. I'm sorry about that time y'all lost, on that bum run. I know how that is. I mean, I know people, there's a lot of stories I know of that we'll discuss that very top hitter shows. But thank you for God that you was able to come up with a good way to, to use that money that y'all came up on. As far as investing and, rather than coming out like some people just throw their money away, I mean, so I'm really glad to know that there's some brothers that are actually, using their brain. They're you got a lot of people that are blessed with common sense, but they just don't use it. Okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm definitely glad that you. Well, if I could have your name just for the record, though, brother. I mean, because normally, I like to know who I'm talking to here. What's your name again?
My name's Romeo. I'm on Facebook as Romeo is the King.
Oh, okay then, Romeo. Are you in the Real Talk group or LNR or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so, cool, brother. I'm glad that you could join us here tonight. And, I hope you continue to listen and call in another time, okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right, and with that, you have a blessed night, my brother. And with that, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I would like to thank all my callers, including Romeo and Sister Cat. Thank you for calling, my dear, as well as Lady Jazz. I thank all of y'all. I would like to thank all of you guys also that were listening online and to this show, the topics that we discussed here tonight on the Hood Rich and Ghetto-Fabulous fetish, as I call it. I hope it was an enlightening and inspiring experience for you. give you some insight and a higher perspective of the topic at hand. Also, all those that participated by listening via internet or if you wasn't on the phone, thank you so much for your support as well. Topics on this show are inspired partly or wholly from the most real talking Facebook group, Real Talk African American Issues, where we touch on this and many other topics that affect and or influence the Afro-Centric community. Okay? Tune in next week for another compelling episode of AfroCentriX, the place to come to talk about current topics from an Afro-Centric perspective. This is AfroCentriX. I am your host, Ed Real Talk Smith. Have a great evening, and to all, be blessed.
Troubleshoot, moving down the line. I come apart, but that's okay, 'cause trouble